Attack on Titan, the final season, part 4, has finally officially announced a release date, and it's gonna be November 4th. At long last, throughout all those weirdly numbered final parts, we're reaching the conclusion of everything. I mean, really, if we want to be meticulous about this episode's name, it's actually called Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, Part 2. Goes to show you that the series absolutely adores its convoluted naming scheme. But this is it. This is the end. The voice actors have already said their thanks and their goodbyes to these roles that they've been playing for more than a decade at this point. And the animators have already stated that this is the last bit of work they needed to round off until they were done with the entire series. There's nothing else that's gonna be coming after this. And I personally think that this is gonna be absolutely glorious. One of the most fantastic pieces of fiction to ever be released. I don't think there's really too much that can undermine my enjoyment of this episode. And I say this without knowing if the ending's gonna be faithful to the manga or just completely brand new, because I don't care. As long as I see this story end, that's gonna be more than enough for me. But there's something that's gonna be happening right after this episode releases. Something that has never before been seen in the realm of anime. Something that might end up being a complete catastrophe, or, you know, maybe just the new benchmark for how events are gonna be held in the future. Because this is where I welcome you to the Attack on Titan Worldwide After Party. Hi y'all, I'm Bayfond, and here I'm just called Player because there's not really anything I can do to change the name, so I'm kind of stuck with it. In this cutesy no-face avatar is what you can also be, starting on November 5th. Yes, because November 5th is the start date for this special limited time event that's gonna be held. A completely virtual event that spans from November 5th to November 8th. And you might be thinking, this looks pretty all right for like a fan game. It looks pretty cool. But I wanna let you know that this is 100% official, licensed and promoted by Attack on Titan itself. When you log in on November 5th, be prepared to witness the musical performances of the music of Attack on Titan, featuring the EDs and the OPs, and a virtual meet and greet where you're gonna be able to meet the voice actors themselves. Right now, Aaron's voice actor is the one that is 100% confirmed to be going to this. But I assume more are gonna be following. Yes, this adorable little world over here is gonna be completely invaded starting on November 5th. And I think that's gonna be perfect because when I think of Attack on Titan, the dark, adult-themed series that has deep ideas about politics, freedom, and the meaning of life, I can 100% see that represented right here. This is a one-to-one representation of what the series held. I mean, just look at me. Whenever I run, it looks like I'm running in slow motion. It's absolutely adorable. Yeah, I think this is gonna be maybe a nice little retreat to whatever kind of psychological trauma we're gonna be facing after the end of that episode. And you might be wondering, Bayfond, how did you gain access to this? I mean, isn't this supposed to be coming out on November 5th? And yeah, it is. But what I did was just test this on my device. It's a little feature that's included on the requirement page of the website. Lets you test out whether or not this is gonna be able to run on your machine fairly well. And I've tested this on both PC and Mac, and let me tell you what, it runs smoothly as hell. But granted, it's a demo, and I've got my fair share of concerns. I mean, for starters, it's a completely browser-based game. Just going around, it does feel smooth, but there's a little bit of frame drop every once in a while, and that's kind of surprising because these characters are just NPCs, representations of what we should be seeing on release day. And look at them, they've all got their own separate speech bubbles. Sometimes they say things in foreign languages to kind of showcase how it's all supposed to work when it's accessed globally. And I think that's a little bit optimistic because it's not really representative of when everyone's gonna be spamming the same shitty meme in a bunch of different languages.
Kinda smell. What the? Like a baka.
You can walk around, you can kampai to a bunch of people, and you can just see where the port's gonna be accessed for the big event on the day of. Yeah, this port over here, this is where you're gonna mount the boat on release day. The boat's gonna be where everything's gonna be held in terms of the event. So I just imagine that's gonna be a whole boatload of fun. Yes, the pun was intended. But here it's mostly just to represent how you're just gonna be feeling once you're inside of the actual game. You can even take a picture with a cardboard cutout over here, make it feel like you're actually there. But honestly, I don't think this is representative of what we're gonna see day one, because honestly, I don't think that they're prepared for the tidal wave of people that are gonna be coming to these servers on November 5th. Sure, this is a completely licensed thing, but they're marketing this globally. I don't know if they understand just how popular Attack on Titan really is. I mean, so much so that I think that this is a series that you can go out and talk to anyone, mention it in passing, and someone's probably gonna recognize the name, or they're gonna be able to tell you what it's about. People that aren't even anime fans know about this series. That's how far-reaching this is. Do you really think the servers are gonna keep up on the day of release? Honestly, I think this 4-day event's gonna be cut down to 3 because by the amount of server lag and shutdown that's gonna be happening, there's not gonna be anyone that gets access to this on the first day. It really leaves me to question how the whole rollout of the system's gonna be brought out. But of course, I do think there is some kind of thinking that was brought into this because there is some limitation that was put in. And that comes in the form of ticketing. Because of course, for any event, you've gotta buy a ticket. What, did you expect to have fun for free? What are we? And so let's just take a look at the prices. For peasants like you and me, there's the standard regular price of $18 for a normal standard entry. And what does that get us? Well, this is gonna be just simple access to the ship on the day of, where we get to just roam around and watch everything just unfold. On the ship itself, there's gonna be a video monitor at the very top playing a video on loop. I assume it's gonna be the episode just playing over and over and over again. This is also gonna be where the meet and greet's gonna be held, which I assume is also gonna come with an extra additional price on top of that. And there's also some like recreations of what we could see in the show, like the barracks or the rooms, whatever you wanna call it, and things of that nature. But let's just say this, maybe you're feeling a little extra saucy. Maybe you've got some money that's burning a hole through your pocket and you really gotta spend it right now. Well, for an extra $2, you can buy the deluxe edition of a ticket. And that gets you online exclusives, baby. And I think that's kind of funny because if you fork over these extra $2, you're gonna get this exclusive online merch that's gonna be rendered useless after November 8th. Because really, this website's only gonna be running for this limited short time event. It's not like they're gonna bring it back every year. Your merch is just gonna stay in just the abyss. But you know, maybe the more that I talk about this, maybe I wanna be a little drippy. Maybe I wanna dress to impress the voice actors when I meet them. Because of fucking course I'm gonna be there. I need to see this catastrophe unfold right before my eyes. Whether it's gonna be a complete mess, a clusterfuck, or whether or not it's actually gonna come out and be decent. I say that because I honestly don't have any hopes in the slightest of this passing decent. But we'll just have to see, because it's the event of the year. But honestly, I think that if they're trying to prevent like the servers falling and crashing, they're gonna have to do something about how they're gonna lobby everyone up. I don't expect thousands upon thousands of people to be on the same server because I don't think anyone's computer would be able to handle that. So I expect it to be like lobbies that we're just gonna be brought into, and the special guests, which are the people that look like this with the box over their head that says special guests so that you don't miss them, are gonna be like universal in every single lobby. It's kind of a cop-out way of doing things, but it's kind of the only way that I can really expect this to work. Automatically, I'm gonna assume that people are gonna be camping out on the video area for like days on end, and every single one of the voice actors that are gonna show up for the meet and greets are just gonna be swarmed, absolutely mobbed. It's gonna be the equivalent of when you stream snipe one of your favorite streamers and you follow them around for the entire stream, like that, but with thousands of people doing the exact same thing. There really has to be like a queuing system or a line that they're gonna have to introduce to do this. That or the voice actors aren't actually gonna be there and it's just gonna be like an avatar for them. So yeah, I'm very curious about how this special event's gonna play out. Some things that I think will make this even better is if other voice actors from other countries, like, you know, the English voice actors, Spanish voice actors, German voice actors, if they jump into the servers to just mess around and mingle with fans and, you know, the other voice actors to share their experiences. I think that would be a pretty cool way of everyone interacting. And I think something like that would actually feel like a proper send-off to the series. It would feel very special. But aside from that, if this turns out to be a success, maybe this is gonna be a staple for future anime events in the future. They're gonna stop doing everything in person and just let, you know, the global audience take over the internet. It'd be interesting to see if this actually influences anime culture in the future. But with that, I think that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to talk about with this worldwide after party. I think the whole element of talking to other people is gonna be kind of cool, and that's what I'm gonna be mostly trying to do. If you see me somewhere just running around, just say hi, drop in, why not? But until then, as always, I was Bayfond, and I'll see you guys next time.